Hi, welcome back to Elements in Focus. This week we're talking about risk assessment techniques. In our Elements in Focus video series, if you are new, this is where one of our advisor team members is covering our 5 critical element process. And today we're talking about risk management and life happens. And so I have Sam Neff, our certified financial planner. He is going to talk about different techniques that we look at for assessing risk. Sam, how are you this morning?
Aaron, I'm wonderful. It's a beautiful day, a little bit of rain, but it seems to be clearing up. So just enjoying the what will be the start of summer by the time this video comes out.
Good deal. So if someone comes into us and we need to go through a process of, do they have the right types of insurance, or are we looking at different types of risk to avoid or insure? What are things that we look at to help guide someone through that process?
Yeah, it's when we assess risk, and I'm going to lead this conversation more down the insurance route. In a prior week's video, you may have heard one of our other advisors, Jamie Burton, talking about um, diversifying assets away from risk. When we're thinking about risk assessment techniques from this lens, we're looking at the what can go wrong, right? Everything we do in our life comes with some sort of risk. When I get behind the wheel of the car in the morning, I take a risk on my way going into work that I could get into some sort of accident, that something could happen along the way. Versions of risk management when you're in your car would be, hey, I put on a safety belt, or I make sure that I use my turn signals. I look before I start changing lanes. So when we're looking at risk assessment for folks, we're going to really be focused on what are the blind spots that could happen should something go wrong. So some of the less fun topics that we talk about, but if a spouse were to leave us early, get called home early, and potentially not be able to have income for the family anymore, life insurance is a heavy topic that not a lot of people want to talk about. When we consider what someone needs from that perspective, we're going to take a look at what their role is in the household. How much income do they make? How much childcare do they provide? What types of things do we need to put together to make sure that we're able to replace the income so that while the family grieves, they're able to stay in their home and not see a lot of different things change in their life beyond having to deal with the loss of someone that they loved and cared about. From an income standpoint, what happens if I'm unable to work? Disability insurance is an often overlooked insurance, and another one that we'll have discussions with families about. How do we make sure that checks continue to come in to help cover bills should somebody have something that stops them from being able to work? And we have a lot of folks that will say, hey, I've got more of a desk job. I don't know that I necessarily would need something like that. You don't want to just think about disabilities as kind of the man in the wheelchair on the sign. There's a lot of different health events that can take away our ability to earn income. So those are some of the things that we'll have discussions with families about, making sure that we're replacing enough of their after-tax income to make sure that we're able to cover someone's standard of living. From a health insurance standpoint, what type of plan is the best for me? If I'm a relatively healthy individual, should I be looking at a higher deductible plan where I have lower insurance premiums? Likely a wise idea, but are we utilizing a health savings account, an emergency fund to make sure that when that higher deductible comes due, we have the funds available to make sure that we can take care of whatever event might happen from a health perspective? If I'm somebody that knows that I've got some major health expenses that are on the horizon going into my open enrollment period, is that a time to look at something that's um, a lower cost, or sorry, a higher cost plan with a lower deductible, so that we can make sure that we're paying less out of pocket and we're able to get the care that we need? Other items that we need to be paying attention to: car insurance, homeowners insurance, any sort of disasters that might happen to our house, to make sure that the place that we're living is able to be taken care of and that we're able to cover those deductibles. So a lot of those things that we have discussions with folks about, it's really about understanding where they're at in their life and what type of coverage that is that they're going to actually need. It is not a one size fits all for everything, but all of these things need to be considered when we're looking at a financial plan. When people talk to us as planners, a lot of times they think most of what we do is just discuss stocks, bonds, whatever's going on in the broad market. But being a holistic planning firm, we have to be very focused on not only how we grow, protect, and distribute wealth, but how we make sure that no sort of blind spot comes in that's going to take a large portion of our assets away or stop us from achieving those financial goals that we have. So making sure that we're looking at all risk and understanding that it isn't always fun to pay those insurance premiums, but it's totally worth it for the people that have to use it. And so we need to make sure that when we're assessing that risk, that we're utilizing these products properly so that we can help make sure that there's nothing that's going to happen in your life that's going to derail where your financial journey is going to go. Aaron, do you have any questions for me?
No, I think you covered every base on the insurance side of things. And so good job, Sam. If you have questions and you're watching this for the first time, if something Sam said sparked a thought or a question that you have, send those to us at talktofeg@yourlifeafterwork. We're happy to answer those. But most importantly, make sure that you are insured in those proper areas that Sam talked about. So it's making sure you have life insurance coverage, making sure your home and auto are properly covered, your health insurance, and a lot of disability insurance, and lastly, making sure you have an umbrella policy to help protect all of those insurances that you have in place. And so we have tools in the office here at FEG that help us evaluate those, and as part of our process. So if you want to schedule your next steps complimentary meeting, we would review all of those things for you, make sure your insurance and risk management is up to date and meets your goals and needs. You can schedule a complimentary meeting. Call us at 800-928-4001. Go to yourlifeafterwork.com or scan that wonderful QR code on the screen. One of our advisors would be very happy to meet with you and discuss your next steps. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day.